Hello, my name is David Lindsay. I'm the VIP Sales Director for Watches of Switzerland, and today it gives me great pleasure to be here with the British Greek Cypriot retail magnate, entrepreneur and ex-employee of Watches of Switzerland, Mr. Theo Paphitis.
Pleasure to meet you, Dave.
Thank you. So, Theo, tell me about your time with Watches of Switzerland.
Well, it was about 100 years ago in black and white.
Okay.
I started work, my first job in retail. It was called Time. It was part of Watches of Switzerland at 1 Old Bond Street. And from that day onwards, I fell in love with watches and retail.
Going back before your first day, what watches did you start off with?
Well, I've got to tell you, when I started work, I had an LED watch.
Okay.
You used to have to press a button and it lit up. I think they're making a revival now. I then moved on to a Seiko, and a few years after I'd left Watches of Switzerland, my memory of actually going back and making my first purchase in the shop of a Rolex. I've still got it, but I've given it to one of my sons.
Okay.
In fact, all my watches are actually, I'm just a custodian of them.
Thank you very much indeed for bringing your collection in today, Theo. So this is the Cartier Santos 100. So when did you get this? Tell me about this.
I'm trying to remember. I can tell you where I bought it from, and that was Watches of Switzerland, 16 New Bond Street.
Yeah, thank you.
I was walking past the window. I had no intention of going in whatsoever, and this was in the window, heroed. So I walk in, and before I know it, I'm walking out with a bag. I'm a bit promiscuous with watches. You know, I have affairs with them. So I'll wear them for a period, and then I'll put them away, and then I move on to another one. They're a piece of art that you're wearing on your wrist. It's not just jewellery, they're art and they're engineering. And that's why I like mechanical watches more than quartz watches.
Yeah. This Christmas we have got some beautiful new pieces, and this is the Santos 100.
But that's incredibly similar.
It is, absolutely, there we go.
Have they changed at all?
You've now got this very clever quick release system on the bracelet. Gone are the days where you need to go back into the store to take the links out of the bracelet. You can pull the bracelet to the size that you need to. Do you know where they got the inspiration from, Cartier, on this? Because the Brazilian aviator Santos Dumont, he was friends with Louis Cartier, and Cartier created a watch for him in commemoration of the first flight, which I think was in '06. And the rivets on his plane, he put through the bracelet. And also another thing as well, if you look closely at the dial of a Cartier watch, you will see the secret signature, which on...
At 7 o'clock.
Correct. So this one's £9,200. It's stainless steel and 18 karat gold, and it has the blue spinel, which is synonymous with Cartier. Tell me about another one which you've got here.
This little baby here.
Okay.
Now, I've got to say, this is also one of my favourites. It's so cute, but it is very, very special. It's Jaeger LeCoultre, but if you see it here, I can actually do this with it. So it's not just a reverso, but when you flick it around like this, it's a duo. It's got another timepiece, and it's totally independent. I could have another time zone, as I often when I travelled. So this was my travelling watch. It's cute, it's small, it's fabulous.
Yeah.
So I saw this again. I thought, God, you're handsome. Since we're talking about pretty watches, I think it's the ultimate dress watch. It's a moon phase, it's a IWC, and you've got the date, the time, the year, the day, and the moon.
You've got it all going on there. And that's a 34mm case size, that one.
Absolutely fabulous. And I can remember wearing this at so many black tie functions, and it was much admired by many. I've no idea what this is worth now. I haven't got a clue.
Well, it's priceless, isn't it? Clearly.
It is to me.
When we were talking before off camera, I said, I mentioned the brand Breitling, and he said, I've never had a Breitling.
Never had
one. But I'm going to show you one. This one's called the Premier. It's got a slightly different look. It's a chronograph. It's got their own movement. It's a 70-hour power reserve in here. But it's not a look that you usually associate with Breitling. There's more of a heavy pilot watch, a bit more rugged and what have you. But could that one make the cut, do you think? Because I noticed the Bremont watch.
So I'm wearing the Bremont, which is the aviation. This is the EP120, and this was limited edition. They only made 120 of these, and this is number 65.
Okay.
And the rotor at the back is made from an old Spitfire.
Right.
Now this is also incredibly pretty, isn't it? And you brought this out specifically because you want to tempt me. I can see that.
Yeah, £6,600. In danger of selling to a dragon here.
Yeah. think you already have. It's very, very nice. The minute I saw this watch, I had to have one. Oh, Steve McQueen. It's a Tag Monaco.
Yep.
I mean, you can spot someone wearing one of these
It's a classic.
a mile off.
This year is the 50th anniversary of Monaco. The first Monaco had their caliber 11 movement, which had a 40-hour power reserve. This now features their caliber 2 movement, which has got an 80-hour power reserve. But here you get a good look at the case back with the racing rotor there.
You can see that going up.
And then also you have a 40mm case with a really classic blue dial on that.
And how much are these?
That one is £4,895. That would be
very affordable, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Very affordable for what you get.
So I noticed there's a ladies' gold constellation here.
There is. It's Mrs. P's. And this is the very first gold watch she ever had.
Okay.
It's just such a classic, beautiful face. The whole size of it. It's got a few diamonds, mother of pearl dial, and it's got diamond bezel. It's absolutely gorgeous. She took one look at it. She said, that one.
Yeah. And do you know, the modern day Omega Constellation is pretty much exactly the same. If you've got a classic line, then leave it as is. This one retails at £6,000. So it's a beautiful ladies' classic watch. The Constellation, you can see that the claws on the side of the case there as well.
That can be worn day and evening, can't it?
Correct, yes, absolutely. But yeah, that's a classic.
Listen, Omega have been around a long, long time, and it was very difficult when you saw the ascendancy of Rolex, especially when I started in the industry.
Yeah.
I just think Omegas are so underrated. And I remember seeing this bad boy, and I like to swim, I like to dive.
Okay.
And I thought, that looks, again, so chunky, meaty, and it does what it says on the dial.
The Planet Ocean, they brought that model in 2005. It's part of the Seamaster family.
Right.
Seamasters up until that point went down to 300 metres. Then they brought the Planet Ocean, which goes down to 600 metres. One of the symbols of the Planet Ocean is a lot of the models in the range have got orange on the dial, because orange is the last colour that you see when you go down those depths.
It is, you're absolutely right.
Talking a bit about Dragon's Den, if I was pitching a watch brand to you on Dragon's Den...
Nobody in the time I've been in Dragon's Den has come in and pitched a watch, because if they had done, I would have been such a sucker.
We were talking about Frank Muller earlier on today, because in your time as chairman of Millwall, I know Muller was very much a brand of the time.
But what some watches are from a period, aren't they, where they were hugely popular, and of an industry.
Yeah. I mean, Hublot is in football now.
Right. Yeah.
But Muller was the kind of Hublot of brand of the time.
It was a footballer's watch, and they used to. I mean, I've got a Conquistador King.
Yes. And
it weighs a ton. It's white gold. Proper footballer's watch.
Right. Yes. And what's the next watch? Have you got your eyes on anything in particular, or other than the ones I'm going to be selling you today, obviously?
I do, but you're going to sell me another one today that I've had my eye on for a while, and that will be my latest love affair.
So Theo, thank you very much indeed. I've genuinely enjoyed going down memory lane today, and the watches that you've brought in, it's been fantastic. Particularly talking about your career with Watches of Switzerland. So. Thank you for your time, sir, and I look forward to spending more time talking about more watches in time to come.
David, it's been a pleasure to be here. Watches have played a big part of my life, right from as a teenager to present day, and so has Watches of Switzerland all these years. So it's been a pleasure to be here and share some of my experiences with you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.